suck, bro.
You fucking suck.
You can't just do it.
I haven't heard a sub sound in a long time. Let me turn that off real quick. But yeah, Warriors and 6, boys. Tonight's the night. But anyways, I'm here to talk about this. Hold on. I wrote down some points just to remind myself. Just so I don't go off topic, talk about random shit. Man, the fact that words are just taken from my throat. It's fucking disgusting. We'll chill a little bit before we get into it. Clenched fist, I know, right? Yeah, we're not here to talk shit. We're here to just fucking touch on shit. Talk about what happened. Give context behind it. Because clearly, like, first off, I just want to say that this guy had no... I don't even remember, like, having that many interactions with him. Or, like, him being a part of having, like, a tainted relationship. I don't... And, like, this is not for him to speak on. If it was chosen to be spoken on, like, that's between me and Malik because we know what happened. Go on, just chatting? Alright, man. Just chatting. Just drama. Can you turn up the mic volume? Alright, everything's good. Should I continue? Facecam is covering some of the page. We're good? Good? Alright. Here, I have some points that I wrote up. Just to remind myself what to talk about. And run down what is important to talk about and what to leave behind us. Okay, so we'll skip this part. Go into the first night at the restaurant. I hear my vision of a coach is a guy who doesn't call the shots and assists. I'll make a comparison. When I was at G2, at first I had to work with Kenny S. The first night he comes to me privately on TeamSpeak and says, I know we're going to work together. Here's my number. Call me anytime and we'll do what you want. I expect the opposite from him. He was very open to feedback. It was same with Hunter and Jax. So to compare with EG, when I arrive, I expect the same mindset. We meet the first night at the restaurant and I hear stuff. My vision of a coach is a guy who doesn't decide and assists. The American mentality is that the coach is a yes man. He gets paid X amount of money to say, yes, nice guys. From the first night, I said to myself, watch out, red flag. That was Automatic's vision. A vision that has evolved, by the way. And I really think he regrets our departure with Malik in the beginning. He was in Stewie's camp. Like, let us do our shit. We won a major. We know how to do. First of all, none of our mindset was ever like that. Like, I never thought a coach is just a yes man and a hype man and is only there to help us. And whatever Tim's, I don't know if it actually evolved, but whatever he says about the coach, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with this statement. Maybe a little bit with who doesn't decide. Like, Valve designed the game to be that way, in a sense. Like, you only have 30 seconds to really speak and can really only say so much. But I do agree with the part where he assists. Like, I think a coach's job is to come in. For example, if I'm going to Liquid as a coach, I'm going to see what Liquid has. I'm going to see, from my experience, what I think I can help them on. See what they got, what they're good at, and kind of paint the picture in my own head of what they are, who they are, and areas that they need to work on and point them out and just try to help individuals. hey, Breeze, your A lurk is terrible. I have some suggestions for you. Like, I saw Nico do this. I saw this guy do this. Like, that's how I think a coach should be, and also a person that you, as a coach, I feel like you want to be a person that the players want to come to you. Like, they want to go out of their way to come to you for help, and not throwing yourself on there all the time, making it known that you're available for help because we know you're available for help. But yeah, anyways, that's what my vision of a coach is. And down here, he talks about the second day. Let me see. So they bring up the day two, where we say to ourselves that Stewie, his attitude is red flag and it's not okay. So I'll address it now, but I'll address it in the end. Like, I understand my attitude is not the best. I'm a guy who does not like to lose. I would win in any other condition. I would do anything to win. And anyone who's been watching me, anyone who's played on my team knows that. Like, they know that winning is everything to me. And I do understand that my attitude does get in the way. And at times when it's brought up, like I notice it. I know that I have to work on it. And even though it's been with me throughout my entire career from the very beginning when I joined Cloud9, there moments of good and bad, and I think that comes with a lot of players. Simple, Nico's like that, but we're different in our own ways. But on this specific thing on day two, he said he brought up a subject very gently and didn't know how he managed not to lose it. But actually, both of us did actually lose our shit this day. And it's not about bringing it up gently or the delivery, it's about the topic itself. Because the second day is literally the very, when he says day two, it's literally the day two that we ever met each other. Maybe not like Tim, me, and Will, not us three, but everyone else is literally the first day we met each other. The first day we did not scrim. We talked about whatever we wanted to talk about, and day two was the first day that we actually went into scrims. And Malik introduced the importance of body language, communication, and everything that a player should know the importance of. And for a guy who knows that attitude can get in the way, I'm aware of me being in tilt, and I'm aware of the effect it can have on my teammates, and having it being brought up, and obviously like you guys talk about this shit, so I know it's very aware. That's what I'm trying to get at. But on the subject on day two, we scrimmed the very first days of scrims. We just played, and after the day, Malik once brought up to me that, hey, like, it was not okay that you acted this way or said this or something about my actions and my attitude. And I kid you not, as a person who knows that I tilt, it's my first day there. I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to play with the guys. I'm happy to start something. I'm hungry to get in the server. And I kid you not, I did not know one thing that I did wrong in terms of attitude. And I wanted to start fresh, especially with the new year and everything that happened before. And I wanted to start fresh. And I had nothing wrong with anything that day. And we went on a 45-minute argument that got nowhere. And it really didn't come to any understanding. And we just went back and forth. And Malik insisted on showing me the review, the recording, that it was wrong. It was really bad. And it got to the point where I couldn't see it. And I had to ask my teammates, like, I had to ask, hey, Will, hey, Tim, did you guys feel something today? Did you guys think my attitude was bad in any sort of way? Like, did I do anything to affect you guys? And they know me. Like, anyone that plays with me, as time goes on, they know me. I know when Cirque is upset, when he's upset with himself. I know when Tim is mad. He doesn't even have to say it. I know when he's mad. Like, when you get to know a player, you're going to just know. You're going to feel it. You can't hide it within a team. And Will says, I know Stewie. Like, I know when he's mad. Like, today he was fine. Like, it was just fine. Like, I know when he gets mad. Like, there was no problem. I didn't affect any of my teammates. And it couldn't be accepted that it was okay. And it put me in a state of mind where I felt super self-conscious that I did something wrong when I felt like I didn't do anything wrong. So it put me in like this weird state where I'm very conscious about what I'm doing now. Because first day I didn't think there was any problems, and yeah, like I just felt a little bit of that way towards him after this 45 like unnecessary argument to end the day, and to call it in front of everybody over something that I didn't think was a big deal or something that actually happened. But I understand that it's important to point it out. I want him to point it out, especially when it's not okay. Like I want my teammates to point it out. I want him to point it out. It's something to work on. It's not going to happen overnight. I get it. Like it's that was what happened the second day. And when he talks about at the end of the RMR, the players came to us. It's been 3 months, and yes, 3 months is a very long time. The attitude develops over time. We haven't won a fucking map. But yeah, we'll skip to that. I don't. All right. We chill. We chill. But yeah, this was day two. Like that's literally the very first day that we met each other and we didn't know each other, and something like that happened. And that for me is not a good start to something, especially knowing how important a relationship with the IGL and the coach should be. And after that argument, Malik wanted to go to Starbucks. So he said, "Hey, let's go to Starbucks. I don't want to talk about CS. I want to talk about life. I want to talk about you." And he's a total stranger for me, and I'm not on his wavelength of doing that. And I understand the intentions of having a healthy relationship and Malik being in a coaching role, and it's his job to do that. But for me, I'm not ready to move at that speed. I don't know Cirque. I don't know Breeze. It's my first time actually meeting them for real. And I believe that relationships need to be built organically, and especially with no history with anybody, that it needs to happen naturally and build over time. And it's going to come along the way, whether we win or lose. It's going to come along the way with the amount of times we spend with each other. So there's not really a point to rush things and try to get to know each other immediately. And that's just how I thought at the time. And afterwards, when he asked me to go to Starbucks, I felt very uncomfortable with the situation. I felt like I wasn't in the mood to go into a deep bonding session and just talk about my life. I just wasn't ready for that. I didn't know how to react. So starting off with that on the very first day of scrims, like it did put me in a very uncomfortable position, and it made me feel super awkward, made me feel tense. So a lot of that built up along the way. Um, yeah, but that's what happened on day two. And I understand that Malik reaching out about the Starbucks thing, it could be an attempt to like mend what happened, the situation. But for me, I just wanted to move on. I just wanted to ignore it. I wanted to move on to CS the next day, get back to what we're supposed to be talking about, and just move along, get away from that. Like that was it was so unnecessary to have that had happened. And the Starbucks thing put me in a uncomfortable position, and I didn't know how to react to it. And I felt like he was basically in the end. It just really made me feel like I was being watched 24/7. Like I had no room to breathe. Like someone's breathing down my neck, and I'm being watched on my every move. And kind of did feel that way. Like sometimes I can really tell that eyes are on me, even though nothing's happening. But yeah, that's just how I felt in the moment. Sorry, I'm gonna be ranting about a lot about whatever I'm talking about. I mean, I'm just literally saying what I felt in the moment. Like I'm not blaming him for that situation. I'm just talking about what happened in the beginning, the first day of argument, that led it to the wrong foot. That it shouldn't have been an argument. That shouldn't have been a problem. But the key thing is Malik didn't feel involved. So the biggest thing between me and Malik and what happened is that Malik didn't feel involved, but I felt like that wasn't the case. So in the first week, in the very beginning, I thought it was important to get to know my team and not being the server. And the first day, we already spoke a lot about what we wanted to do, our vision, and going into the second day, everyone's hungry to play the game, and we just want to get in the server. We want to get reps. We want to play with each other, and I think it was important to play simple, have a default, and let the other team react and see how our teammates react. And just along the way, in the very beginning, just build synchronization, build synergy, build chemistry, and let that develop first. And it became a little bit of a problem because of the impatience. I feel like Malik wanted to adopt the G2 system into EG, and I wanted to bring pieces of Liquid into EG as well. And they are both good. They are both. I'm sure that we can put both pieces together, but at the same time, this isn't G2, nor is it Liquid. I don't have Elige. I don't have Naf. We don't have Nico. We don't have Hunter. And I thought it was important to let things flow in the beginning and let things build naturally so we can see people's natural instincts and let all those things develop, see natural reactions, how to play off each other, and talk to things and talk over the review after we play and just see what people think, have their input, put it together, and then we can put the pieces together. But during this time, there's just like so much, man. Like there's just like this. I don't even know. There's just like all right, let's see. Sorry, I'm losing my shit here. Okay, so we wanted to take our time and develop that, and we tried telling Malik that that's what we wanted to do, and it's okay to just observe and let that develop. But Malik always, we never like shut down anything that he said during. Yeah, I don't feel like I ever shut down anything that he said. There are many things that he talks about. Like in the beginning of the day, how a day would run is Malik has his whiteboard. We all gather around. Undivided attention on Malik. We run through 30 minutes each day in the beginning about what he wants to talk about. Um, yeah, I'm running all over the place. I'm sorry, but we basically we wanted to just develop things in the beginning naturally, and then we can have talking points and build something and have a foundation to go off of and talk about what we want to improve. And a lot of things that Malik has brought up, everybody spoke on. It's valid, and we want to work on that. But there's a time and place where we have to get there first. Like we're not going to be able to do the shot that you want to do that you showed and everything if we don't have a default and we can't shut them down from fighting us. We can't get into the execution, and we don't have the synchronization and the keys and tools. Like that was important to me, and I'm sure they all agree too. But we didn't run it through like that. For example, when Malik wanted to, let me gather my thoughts real quick. Sorry, guys. There's just like so much. Like I'm reading this and everything. Give me a second. Nah, I prepared before going live, but like the more I run through it, the more shit that pops through my head that I want to talk about, but I'm not going to talk about, and it's just leading my train of thought to the wrong ways. So I don't want to say the wrong stuff that I shouldn't say, and I just want to keep it strictly about what happened between me and Malik. But yeah. So at the time when we wanted to, get our reps, get to know each other, get used to each other, and just get to know each other inside the server, Malik was pretty impatient with letting that happen even over the first week. Malik's biggest thing was he felt like he wasn't utilized or involved, right? And an example is like Malik was stressed. An important topic that Malik stressed on was a second step in the round, which is mid round aggression, right? So we all understand that mid round aggression is super important. We all understand that it's needed. A team needs it, especially on the CT side, and we have that. We have a lot of those second round, mid round aggressions, but it takes to a certain point to develop all those things. And by the time when we got there, we have, for example, if the T's take top mid control on Inferno, Cirque likes to regress with the op. It's a good option. A lot of people do it. We do mid round aggression. Cirque does it. Boom. He gets killed. He gets a kill. It goes wrong. It goes right. Afterwards, Malik would have something to touch on and something to speak about. And we would speak. He would want to speak about the second step, but very generalized. He wants to talk about how it's important to have it, that we need it, and the list kind of goes on, but we already did do that in practice many times in scrims, and we have like footage of it, but it's never spoken about how like the specifics. It's not spoken about what happened to you, what could we have done better, like the options that we have, like what Sir could have done better, what his site mate could have done better, how we could have went around it. It was more about the generalized topic, and a lot of that happened a lot, and it got to the point where I even told him that we do have that, and we did it in the stream, and it's not touching about that specific moment or situation to get better on. It's just talk about the general topic, but we already have that. So in a way, I did feel like sometimes the time wasn't spent correctly, and I know that utilizing time is very important, and even Malik stresses that. And even at some point when he wanted to try a certain way of running things, like we hear what he has to run down, we listen to him, and he wanted to try having like a 13-minute, strictly 13 minutes on CT side and strictly 13 minutes on T side. And in the beginning, we only had so much time to talk about, especially a brand new team, that 13 minutes wasn't enough. But we tried it, and the next day we even went to him and said, hey, like we want more server time. We want to get in the server. We want to just talk about whatever. We want to just get to know our site mates, talk about what we can do better, and all that good stuff. But I think in a way, Malik probably think I shut him down when I told him that we have this, and it's more about speaking on specifics and not about just a general topic of having, trade potential or having like a mid-round aggression or like having the final step in the round and how to finish. Like we all understand that it's important to have that. We all understand that we need that, but it's about the options and how and what to do and the specifics on that. And at a certain point, we didn't get a lot of that, but yeah, that's just like one of the examples. And yeah, let me see. Dude, I hate going on about this stuff, man. You understand that, but still didn't do it in officials, bro. I could pull up so many games where we did mid round aggression, but you guys can take however what I want to say, however you guys want. But I'm just giving you guys an example. But as time went on, like after the incidents that happened, that it kind of made me feel uncomfortable, and it made me feel like I didn't have like really a lot of room to like breathe even. I feel like Malik probably took a lot of things that happened that I went out of my way to do it intentionally and on purpose, and he might have took it the wrong way when that wasn't the case. For instance, like after, let me think about an example that I can give. So a lot of times when Malik feels like he's not involved, for instance, when we played our first match and after the match, I pulled up the VOD and I just started watching the game. And it was not planned. Nothing was organized. Nothing, anything. After the game, I just wanted to rewatch what we did good, what we did bad, and I went through the VOD. And Tim would start coming. He would start watching with me. He would give me. We would just watch highlights. We would watch what we did good, and everyone started coming around me. Cirque, Vince, Will. Everyone started coming around me, and we just started watching the game. And we watched the entire game, and anyone was welcome to join. And afterwards, I find out that I heard Malik felt like he was left out and that he wasn't involved. But I didn't intentionally try to make him feel like not involved or excluded him. He was very welcome to come, interject, say what he wants to say, and have his 2 cents on the situation as well. But I did not plan anything like that to go out of my way to exclude him or do anything malicious like that. But just having him have this feeling and having me worried about that, like it's a little tough, you know. Like I want to be focused on just the game and solely the game and not having to, deal with something like that like early on, and it would be brought to my conscious a lot about it. And like even another thing is it's like so pity to even talk about, but like one day Malik sent me a friend request on Steam and I didn't check and I didn't accept it, nor did I decline it. And the manager Matt told me that he might have felt a type of way because I didn't accept his friend request like yesterday. And it wasn't even brought to my attention that he added me or anything like that. Like I didn't know. I didn't know anything. And for him to feel a certain way about it like that, like I don't even know how to put it into words, like how like I could handle that, like being so conscious about like what I'm doing that can affect Malik to feel this way when it's not my intention about it. And so many things just went south. There's so much that we can touch on, so much that we can talk about. Like this doesn't help anybody. Just give me a breather, guys. I knew this would happen. I knew I would go over this article and I'm gonna be ranting about other shit. It's okay, man. Let it out. Thanks, bro. Yeah. But yeah, that's like the whole. That was like a big. That was like a big disconnect in terms of what we wanted to do with the team in the beginning, the first week. Like I thought it was important to develop the natural instincts and build chemistry, synergy, and all that good stuff as a team, just to see what I have to work with, how Cirque reacts, how Vince reacts, and get everyone on the same page when we see those reactions, when we see what we could have done better. And I think in the very beginning, Malik wanted to adopt the G2 system right away. And I feel like it's not as easy as it sounds just because I'm sure he has a lot of good experience, and he did with the stuff that he has to bring from G2. But we can't just slot in the G2 system with this 5 because we're not G2, we're not Liquid, and we're EG, and we need to find ourselves first. And I don't think, yeah, it's just like so much shit happened when that disconnect happened, where we went different ways and everyone was taking stuff the wrong way. For example, Malik like thinking I had those like intentions towards him at that time. Like right now, we talked about everything, and I'll get there with Malik. But yeah, okay, fuck it, let's go on. Okay, so this part is just an opinion. He's entitled to his own opinion. In the beginning, we did a boot camp in Katowice to prepare for the blaster did in hotel, training every day. When after the classic days of a pro team, at the beginning, we could feel that it was going to be complicated. I'll make a comparison when I was okay. I read this part. Did you do in the beginning? And it's just the way he says it, like in the beginning he wasn't like there was no Stewie camp, there was no Malik camp, like there was no like why is there like a division among us already? Like and he's like let us do our shit. We want a major. We know how to do. That was never my mentality. Never my mentality. Never. Like literally all I thought in the beginning was just play the game, rep the game, do what we know how to do, and we'll work from what we have from there. And it's gonna take time. It's not gonna fucking happen overnight. EG had made it clear though that Damien would have the reins. Establish a system. We look at each other and we're shocked. To make it simple in terms of attitude, it looked like a face game. And we didn't understand why Stewie didn't give death cam. He doesn't give